conversation we had was on languages. So basically what happened was I was on the phone to my mum, and Uncle Nash was there, and he said something in Runyoro, and I understood what he said. And I was like, oh my gosh, I understand what you said. You said this. And then he was like, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, oh my gosh, I understood. I was so excited because I was not brought up actively speaking Runyoro. So I was very happy that I understood what he said. And that took us into the conversation of languages and specifically, see, I don't even speak the English myself. But anyway, specifically about African parents teaching their children their native tongue, specifically Africans in Africa. So Uncle Nash told me, which I already knew, there are several children in Uganda, in Africa in general, who are penalized at school or at home for speaking their native tongue, which is actually wrong. Now, I get where it comes from in terms of trying to get the kids to understand English, to speak English, because nowadays in the world we live in, English is the language that is used globally of communication and blah, 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 blah. We get it. But to me, that's the only benefit. It's just, if you want your kids to, you know, be able to compete on a global level and communicate and have, you know, a big job in the future, great, I understand it. But that does not mean, or that does not make English superior to any other African language. English is in no way superior to Runyoro, to Swahili, to Luganda. It's in no way superior to any of these languages. The white man has done a very good job in brainwashing Africans to think that it is, but it is not. And everybody, and this is coming from somebody who has grown up in the UK, schooled in the UK. I grew up speaking English, and I am telling you that it is not superior in any way, shape, or form. The white man has done a good job in brainwashing us. I also think that this can be seen in our names and the way we name our children. Newsflash, your kids don't need an English name. You can go to a village deep somewhere, a village deep in the bush somewhere in Uganda, and you'll find somebody and you ask them what's their name, and they'll say their name is Edward. Why? Like, how's your name Edward? But anyway, like, you will never find a white man calling their child Mugisa. It will not happen. It will not happen because they have successfully brainwashed us into thinking that English is superior. Your child needs an English name. It's not necessary. It's really not. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. That's another conversation I had with Uncle Nash another day. We'll go into that another time. But the other thing was, in terms of identity, it's important to teach your children and to allow your children to be fluent. I mean, being able to read, write, speak, understand their native language, be that Runyoro, Kiswahili, Luganda, first, before English. Why? Because it gives them a sense of identity, a sense of culture. I grew up in a house where my parents were polyglots. Even Uncle Nash, he's a polyglot. They speak multiple languages. My mom speaks multiple languages. She's fluent in what? Runyoro, Luganda, Kiswahili. They speak multiple languages. And I sit there and I'm like, bro, like, there's sometimes my mom and Uncle Nash will be laughing about a joke and I can't laugh because I don't understand what they said. And I want to laugh, but I can't because I don't understand. And it's something that culture is something that, language is something that shapes a child's sense of culture, of identity, of who they are. And you forcing your child to learn English is subconsciously teaching them that their own culture, their own identity, the person they are, and the culture that God created them to come from, the country that God has created them to come from, is inferior to that of the white man, which is incorrect. But anyway, this video is getting too long. I am done. Good night, Uncle Nash. I have followed your instructions and made the video. Thank you.